Dear friends, warm and loving greetings to all of you. With the beautiful music we just had a chance to listen to at the beginning, we can already feel how the festive season is indeed approaching. It is a real pleasure to welcome you today to session 6 of the ISSSE-SE Education in Human Values program, online course 1, module 3. Just as a reminder, since we started module 3 in October, we have covered the topics of the 5 human values in Christianity, the 5 human values from the perspective of the world religions, and the 5 human values and local culture, seeing how human values can indeed permeate all aspects in our societies and in our everyday lives. Today, our focus will be on the 5 human values and education priorities and policies, both at a national and international level. We will see in what ways our present education systems include the understanding and practice of values in their existing curricula, and how the ISSSE-SE program can further enhance this important aspect of a values-based education system. To do this, we will have 2 wonderful presenters. Firstly, Elena Rodriguez will begin by sharing her very valuable experiences as an educator throughout many years, with special focus on her own journey and insights. Then we will have a chance to hear Fabiana Laruccia, who will talk to us about an extremely inspiring project that is currently taking place in Italy. So let us begin with our dear Elena first. Good morning, Elena.
Good morning, Raksha. Hello.
So nice to see your radiant smile and joy first thing.
Yes.
So we are very happy to have you with us here today, Elena, to listen to you, to hear what you always have to share with us, and the way you do it with such humility, warmth, and love, something that always characterizes you. So please, Elena, go ahead.
Thank you, Raksha. Thank you very much. So good morning to everyone, to everybody. Good morning, good afternoon, or good evening, depending on where you are now. I am very happy. I'm really happy to present this today, to share with you my experience with the 5 human values and the connection with the education priorities and policies nowadays, and in the past years too. I have to start with my personal experience because, as you know, the program of ISSSE-SE Education in Human Values is experiential and practical knowledge. So we need to really go through a process ourselves before we speak about it. And well, I will start by telling you, as you know, that I was trained in Thailand in 1999. And there I was trained for 2 months in the program of ISSSE-SE Education in Human Values, and I had the opportunity to live the practical experience of learning how this program was implemented in the ISSSE-SE School of Thailand with the children from 6 to 16 years old. So I could see and feel and understand what the results were achieved, what results were achieved. So I fell in love with the program there and with the practice of the program, of the implementation, the pedagogy, the philosophy, everything, the techniques, the 5 teaching techniques, all was wonderful. I was so happy all the time that I said, well, when I finished my training, I committed myself to take this program to Spain, and then my main objective, my dream, was to be able to speak about the program and its benefits in my country, in Spain, to teachers and educators of the public system of education. So this was a great commitment, a deep commitment. It was more than a commitment, it was even like a vow. And so from that moment on, it was 23 years up until now, that I have been trying to understand how to do it, what are the priorities in my personal development, so that I can really be able to have this maturity to share the program with the educational priorities and policies and all these people who are teaching in the schools and universities in my country. So after saying this, it was the second thing I had, in order to meet this commitment, I had like 3 steps. First, I had to become an example of human values in my personal, family, and society life. Second, I needed to have practical experience in teaching children from 6 to 16 years old. And third, I had to study and do a research, the most complete and updated research as possible on the policies and priorities at national and international levels. And now I started with this research, and we are going to see now the timeline of a lot of research that has been done, so that education is fulfilling the needs of the humanity and the changes and the growth of the population, and everybody can have the right to receive the education, and this education is fulfilling for them. The first, I started with the first point in this timeline. I have selected the 1945, in which the Universal Declaration of Human Rights was agreed and signed by the United Nations organizations. This declaration stated the right of education. It was article number 26, which we will go to read later on in the presentation of now. Now, the next milestone in this line is the UNESCO report. The report to UNESCO, done by a team led by Edgar Faure. And the name of this report was Learning to Be the World of Education Today and Tomorrow. And it is a very, very extended document on the necessities of education of that time. Then after that, we have the Children's Rights Convention, 1989, in which the children have defined every right for them. They have about 54 rights, and one of them is about education, and many others. Then we have the UNESCO again, another report to UNESCO made in 1996, called Learning, the Treasure Within. And this document is a very good reference, which is still very important for the education of the world today. The next one was 2015. It was called Rethinking Education Towards a World Common Good. And it was also here the ancient declaration in which they agreed on 17 sustainable development goals, in which education is the goal number 4. After, in 2019, there has been another, again, another revision of the previous reports, and including the challenges that we are facing more recently now in this century. This is called The Future of Education, Learning to Become. It's another very interesting report. I invite you all to go through these reports and declarations, because it's amazing the amount of things that they have been researching, sharing. It's incredible to read and know about all this, but now we don't have, of course, it's just an overview of all these important documents that exist, and they are available to everyone. The next one, sorry, the 2019 document is also called Reimagining the Future of Education Together, and it is towards a new social contract. It's amazing. This and you can also see videos about this launching. The launching of this report was very recently. It was done in the 10th of November 2021. So this is the most recent. And then in Spain now, they have approved the integral protection of the child and teenagers against violence. And this is also a very important law, which is not an educational law only, but it's a general law that includes education and everyone in the society to protect the children against violence. Okay. So watching this, it's amazing the amount of research and declarations, and the definition of the main objective in all of these documents and every law. The definition of the main objective of education is common, and it is the full development of the human personality. So I was wondering, after reading all this, I am asking myself, why do we face so many difficulties in education nowadays if everything here is so beautifully explained, the philosophies are so wonderful, and everything is like perfect, excellent, and still we have a lot of problems? And then I would like you to read with me the words of Satya Sai regarding this reality. He says, in the same way that two wings are essential for a bird to fly high in the sky, and two wheels are needed for a bicycle to move, similarly, two types of education are necessary for human beings to achieve their purpose in life. Two types of education. Educare is for life, whilst worldly education is to earn a living. Only when a person is equipped with both these aspects, then one can earn respect and admiration in society. So after reading this, I read this quote many years ago, and it made me think so much about my own purpose of life and my own situation, because I had not the balance of knowledge of myself and knowledge of the world, and that's why my bicycle didn't work very well until I met the program. I became trained, and then everything changed. So I'm going to tell you what happened. I was saying you that apart from researching and knowing the laws and everything what was written, I also needed to be a good example in my personal life and as a teacher. If I wanted to become a Satya Sai teacher one day, I needed to fulfill this important rule, to be a good example. And the second rule will be to be a good example too, to follow the first rule. So good example was my first priority. And then what I did was to start a path of self-knowledge and self-transformation. And how long will be this path? Did I have I knew the beginning, but did I know the end of the path? No, I didn't know the end of the path. I'm still in the path. And so this is very beautiful, because this is a concept which has been stated also in the reports of the UNESCO, for the UNESCO. And this is a priority of every human being, to have lifelong education. And so it's nice to know that we have all our lives in front of us to achieve this goal of self-knowledge and self-transformation. So I started doing this, and I was very attracted by the path among the trees in nature, to find what? To find my true nature. And then once I knew my true nature, then I could then talk about this to others. But I also needed another thing. I needed the other will, to have the knowledge of the world. So I went to study more. I did some postgraduate courses, because I have the degree in psychology. I did some postgraduate courses only to develop more my knowledge about what is going outside, so that I could share with them what was going inside, with the SSE-SE Education and Human Values program and the 5 human values practice in everyday life and understanding. So this was incredible, because I went to the postgraduate courses and I learned, I did one course on social intervention with children and family for the protection of the children, inclusive practice, how to include the children in the path and the right path. And I also studied some mental and psychotherapy for children and teenagers and so on. But always I understood that something was missing. Something is missing, that if we don't know ourselves, it doesn't matter what we learn, we are not going to change anything. So what happens after that is that I needed practical knowledge. And the practical knowledge was very difficult, because I didn't have a job as a teacher or anything like that. But I was again driven by my energy of love inside. And this took me to learn cooperative games. And then it was a new experience again, to see how cooperative games, well, this is the iceberg. So I have been talking about this, and this is a representation of the difficulties, or bueno, not difficulties, but the amazing adventure that was in front of me to not only had to go to the path, but also had to dive deep inside my thoughts, inside my emotions, inside my feelings, inside my memories, my beliefs. Everything had to be removed and changed and understood. So this is the image of what we have to do when we go into a process of self-knowledge. Knowledge of the self is like that. So yeah, now here I was telling you that I didn't know how to start going into a teaching experience, but I found a course on how to live together and on cooperative games. And I invested 20 euros in this course. And after that, it was in 2007. And since 2007 and now, I have been, sorry, there is a noise behind, but maybe someone is. From that 2007 till now, I have been visiting children from 3 to 16 years old in different educational public school contexts, with the program of how to live together with cooperative games and conflict solving dynamics, positive conflict solving dynamics. This was hands-on experience. The methodology of this game, the course was a little bit similar to the Satyasa Education in Human Values, because it's based on experiencing, then thinking about the experience and reflecting about what we're feeling, the feelings and the thoughts and the emotions and the values inside, and then to come to a commitment of changing our behaviors after understanding what has happened during the game and during the experience. So with this, I had the opportunity to use the art of questions in every classroom and found out the amazing knowledge that is inside every child, the amazing capacities, the skills, the ability to express themselves and to find also the human values inside each of them. So with this, after this experience, for so many years, I also found ways to attract their attention and to use, I don't know, it was my creativity started to find ways to guide for example, the reflection part, the thinking about what they have done. I used a ball, I used to direct to ask the questions and direct the answers, and then I use this light to focus on the light and start with the silent sitting, and everything starts with silent sitting, changes the class, the development of the session completely. So I found out how the different teaching techniques could also help me to develop the knowledge of the children and find the values inside. And this, bit by bit, started creating an environment and culture of love, because in every session, children ended the session happy, loving, affectionate, and always told me, when are you coming back? When are you coming back to my classroom? So this was done for 15 years in about 40 schools, 12 institutes of secondary education, and 5 universities. And everyone reacted the same, responded the same way. So it made me confident of the effectiveness of the philosophy and the pedagogy of Satyasa Education, because I always come into the classroom thinking what I'm going to find the values inside them. I'm not going to instruct anything. I'm just only going to tap their hearts and see what happens. And it's amazing. What happens was incredible. So I want to now tell you the most recent finding was that by using the 3H circuit, it's again a wonderful way to develop a lot of insight and a lot of awareness. Even if you have 1 lesson, 2 lessons, 3 lessons, the awareness starts growing only with this circuit. Starting with the breathing and connecting with the heart, and then going to the head and then to the actions. It's a perfect way to develop the human values in every context, no matter the age. This is 11 and 12-year-old pupils this year. So it's easy to guide the to elicit the values through the tuning of the head, heart, and hands. Starting with the heart, it's better because once you feel the energy in your heart, you feel calm, then you start thinking differently, and your actions and words and everything changes. It's an outcome. You don't have to worry about too much thinking. It's an outcome of this. So after all this, and having more and more experiences of the beauty of the when you touch the spirit, the spiritual part of the children by breathing and getting in touch with the love energy, beautiful things happen. Like there are results of the pictures, and everything expresses something special in them, which is very important to look after, and it takes us to the well-being of the child. You can see in this picture how they feel, how their well-being is inside. And this is happening after 3-4 workshops of this kind. I now have a workshop called, a weekly workshop, which is called The Treasure Within. And these are some of the outcomes that I'm now finding, which make me very happy because I can see here the enormous potential of the program and the simple that it is once you are already in tune with them. So coming back to the policies and priorities of education, sorry. Coming back to this, we have the objective. The main objective is the full development of human personality. This is already stated in the laws of education in my country, and I think in every other country, because they are the basic principle of every declaration, on every report. And they also say that in order to meet this full development of human personality, it is essential that the education should be lifelong, so that we can have lifelong opportunities to develop more and more, not only in the formal educational primary elementary context or secondary, not even university, but after that we can be again finding ways to more development. We are always learning. And so this is important to know. And the documents guarantee that we have opportunities to learn all the time. We know this is a learning society and a learning world and a world society. And also the education should be value-based, and it is very, the emphasis is done now in the good morals and ethics for a good development of human personality and the world the evolution, the humankind evolution. It has to be inclusive. No one can be left behind, and adapted, that has to adapt to every necessity of everybody. It should also uphold the environment. We have to make a full commitment with the environment and uphold good human relations. And here we have this too. And then it has to enhance creativity. It enhances creativity, skills, competencies, knowledge, and inner connection. Then we are going to see that in order to do this, there are 4 pillars. There are 4 pillars in education stated in the report, the Lord's report 1996. The 4 pillars for learning are to know, to do, to be, and to live together. With these 4 pillars, we are guaranteeing lifelong education for all, but we always have to have this in mind to develop these 4. And now we are going to see how they are related to the human values program. For example, learning to know Yes, before we have been learning to know about the world all this for decades, but now we have to learn to know about ourselves. So we have to find the truth, the changeless truth, because outside the world is changing all the time, but inside we have to find the truth, which is changeless. And we have been learning this all along the course, so I don't have to explain about this. Just remember the words of Satya Sai. True education is not related just to the world. True education is that which is related to you and helps you to realize the true meaning of I. What is the meaning of life? Who am I? So these important questions have to be placed in the right educational process, in the formal educational process too. Now we are going to see the second pillar, which is learning to do. Learning to do. What should we learn to do? We should learn to discriminate between right and wrong. We should learn to do what is right. And first of all, we have to know that learning this is based on values, because values lead us to transformation. And knowledge is information. We have to implement both. Again, the roots of the tree are the most important part of the tree. Without the roots, the tree would collapse. So the values are the basis of this transformation and this knowledge and these practices. Right action has to be based on values. Only that is the way to find real peace. And the end of education is character. We have to cultivate our character. We have a lot to do. We will never be unemployed anymore. We will always have a lot of things to do, because working on ourselves is for lifelong goal. The third pillar is learning. And I see the third pillar is learning to be, which is very essential now. Learning to be who we are, who we really are. That you know that we are the human values of truth, righteousness, peace, love, and non-violence are hidden in every human being. One cannot acquire them from outside. They have to be elicited from within. But as human beings have forgotten their innate human values, they are unable to manifest them. Educare means to bring out the human values and translate them into action. So we have here again the map, the milestone, and what we need, the compass to be who we are. And it's a beautiful finding. Now we are going to go to the next pillar, which is once we have learned how to do, what to do, what to know, what to be, then we can learn to live together, because we will have a balanced personality. And once we are in balance, inner balance, then we can share this balance with others, and then we can find the mutual respect, and that living together will be a real success for all mankind, because we are all based on the same values. So remember some words of Mahatma Gandhi. Each one has to find peace within. Peace, to be lasting, must be unaffected by outer circumstances. And then we will reach the level of non-violence, which is not harming anybody, avoid causing pain to anybody in thoughts, words, and deeds, and also alleviate the suffering of others. So empathy is another aspect of non-violence. these are examples of our creativity in the classroom, how the teachers are interested when they are listened to, when they give the opportunity to express their thoughts and feelings and values and everything. These are examples that we have seen before of how to develop values in the educational context with very simple ideas and lots of love. And here is the Universal Declaration of Human Rights, as I told you before. The education shall be directed to the full development of the human personality and to the strengthening of respect for human rights and fundamental freedoms. It shall promote understanding, tolerance, and friendship among all nations, racial or religious groups, and shall further the activities of the United Nations for the maintenance of peace. Here, this never changes. This is again a true right, because it never changes. And even if the world now changes in many things, these things doesn't change, and we have to keep on developing this and respecting this. And now we are going to finalize with this quotation of Satya Sai to remind us the essential objectives and priorities in education. The link between education and jobs has to be broken. Education should be for life and not for living. It should prepare youth for all the responsibilities of citizenship. Academic knowledge alone is of no great value. It may help one to earn a livelihood. But education should go beyond preparation for earning a living. It should prepare one for the challenges of life, morally and spiritually. So let's remember that in order to grow as a beautiful tree and blossom to our full potential, we need to have the roots of human values, which are the roots. The roots are the ones which can nurture everything so that the tree can grow completely. Without the roots, everything collapses. So with this, I will ask Fabiana Laruccia to give us the next part of this wonderful session.
Dear Elena, before moving on to Fabiana, as you said very correctly, I would like to thank you on behalf of all of us. It was so inspiring to listen to you. You know, you shared with that beautiful image and quotation from Satya Sai of the bicycle or the bird with two wings. You really shared both this important aspect of how all of this is included in our education priorities and policies, but also what surely touched our hearts even more is your personal experience and just how humble you always are with that approach of reminding us that this program truly, its ultimate purpose is our own self-transformation, which then leads to that of the children we work with. So thank you so much for that, Elena. I know later we will have maybe a chance to ask a few questions. But now, just to continue, dear friends, we will continue by hearing our dear Fabiana, and she will share a practical and inspiring example that is currently taking place in Italy. Fabiana has been coordinating the activities of the Institute of Satya Sai Education in Italy for many years, and she has vast experience as a teacher trainer. So, dear Fabiana, we are really looking forward to see, and now we're seeing it, your beautiful, bright smile and everything that you have to share with us. with your usual joy and elegance. So thank you, Fabiana. Please go ahead.
Thank you, Raksha, for your kind introduction. You are always very sweet and lovely in your words. Good morning, everyone. For me, it is a very great joy to be here with you again and to share some aspects of an educational experience on SSE education in human values carried out in Italy for public schools. This experience started last year and we are continuing it thanks to the support of a team of Italian trainers certified by the ISSE Institute. Now I open and share the slides to tell about it. Now, one moment. So, the training program for public schools is entitled SSE Education in Human Values, a Path for Life. The course consists of 4 modules specifically organized to correspond to the scope of civic education guidelines for the area of sustainable development, and which you will see more detailed during the presentation. The course is aimed at teachers and educators of the various training cycles, and it is recognized by the Italian Ministry of Education. To present this path to you, I thought to follow these 3 steps, starting from a contextual framework, which is that of the teaching of civic education, sustainable development area, to understand the trends of educational approaches that are given importance, explain how the program of SSE education in human values relates to it and how we have structured it in a creative way, and therefore also illustrate some practical aspects of the course and the lesson plans that a team of educators created in Italy. Starting from the first point, I underline that the Ministry of Education has drawn up guidelines for the teaching of civic education valid since the school year 2020-2021. The teaching transversal to other subjects is compulsory in all levels of education, starting from the kindergartens. It includes 3 areas of activity: study of the Constitution, sustainable development, digital citizenship. In Italy, we are connected to the field of education for sustainable development. Education for sustainable development is a goal defined under the UN Agenda 2030. In particular, Target 4.7 aims to encourage sustainable lifestyle, human rights, gender equality, the promotion of a peaceful and non-violent culture, global citizenship, enhancement of cultural diversity. Several publications have been produced to improve and develop the knowledge, skills, and attitudes to live, work, and act sustainably, and to promote new ways of thinking, planning, and acting in favor of the planet and the people. They are important references to keep in mind and to align with the need of students and schools. However, I would like to highlight a fundamental principle emphasized by UNESCO, which underlines that the fundamental purpose of education in the 21st century is to value a humanistic vision. A humanistic vision reaffirms a set of universal ethical principles that should be the foundation for an integrated approach to the purpose of education for all. Valuing these universal ethical principles connect us to the concept of fostering a good education, which is the basis of healthy and happy societies. Proceeding with this vision, we have tried, with ISSE-SE Education in Human Values, to go beyond a humanistic approach, valuing an integral educational approach of the person, which involves, beyond the physical and mental level, also the spiritual level. To facilitate a transformative education and to promote a good education, we need to go to the roots and cultivate the wisdom of the spiritual heart, seat of human values. Cultivating the virtues of the heart will lead to ethical action in the relationship with people and the whole of creation. The specific goals of the course are facilitate an understanding of the essence of the basic principle of the ISSE-SE education in human values, enhance the profound sense of the educational role of the teacher, facilitate in students the connection with the wisdom of the heart and the development of a character inspired by noble ideals. Education in human values, a path for life, as I have already said, consists of 4 modules which gradually explore human values and related values. Module 1, carried out last year, had the title Peace, Thought in Harmony, Balanced Behavior. This is the acronym of the language word pace, pensieri in armonia, comportamenti in equilibrio. We explore the values of peace and focusing on self-confidence, calm, balance, joy, harmony among head, heart, hands. The second module has the title Ethics and Good Communication, that we are doing this year. We are exploring the 5 human values and focus on truth, righteousness, sincerity, spirit of research, honesty, responsibility, kindness, listening and comprehension, cooperation. Module 3 is Unity in Diversity, the human values and the focus on love and non-violence, respect for people and animals, care for the common good and the cultural heritage, selfless service for solidarity. Module 4, the relationship between man and nature, the 5 human values, relationship between man and nature, and how to live in a balanced and environmentally friendly way. Some key aspects of the course are: each module lasts 10 hours of training, 2 hours meeting. We are using an integrated methodology. It includes theoretical activities, workshop, and moments of silent sitting. Each module expects teachers to carry out 10 hours of practical application, and we are lesson plans provided as a support for teachers, educators. I would like to bring attention to this part of the course where teachers, educators have the task of carrying out 10 hours of practical activities in the classroom or in another educational context. We have provided them with the lesson plans prepared for the different school cycles as a support. The text of the lesson plans are based on 5 techniques and are linked to human values and the areas of interest of education for sustainable development. Each lesson has a theme, introduction, educational goal, moment of silent sitting, storytelling, biography of a virtuous character, poetry, open questions, quotes, conclusion, group activity, group singing, study circle, resolution in the daily life. Now I'm very happy to share with you some results that emerged after the practical activities in the classes, after the first course on peace. A greater agreement both internally and externally between what I think, feel, and do, a greater concentration and participation of the class group, improvement in the relations aspects, inner calm and lightness of mind, listen activity, a greater awareness of the consequence of one's own behaviors, respect for others, collaboration, reflection on thoughts, needs, on caring for others and for mother heart. I would like also to bring attention to what teachers and educators shared with us. They reported that the good results that can be achieved come from a greater awareness of being a teacher who lives the human values and who is a constant example. The teacher who lives human values inspires, creates an environment of love, uses words of encouragement and support, uses kindness, expresses goodness and love, has sensitivity, expresses authenticity, listens actively and builds trusting relationship. Everyone stressed at the end the importance of growing together, sharing experiences, cultivating unity of purpose. We are very happy that the course has been recognized by the Ministry of Public Education and has issued a certificate for participation to the teachers. And now I would like to conclude with some words of Satya Sai answering a question. What is the vision for the future of Satya Sai education? And his words are: you do not need to worry about what the future will be like. Do well now what needs to be done. In that case, the future will look after itself and all will be well. Do not think and do not worry about the future. The important thing is the present. This present is not an ordinary present. It is omnipresent. Thank you all for your attention.
Fabiana, what can we say? It was so beautiful to hear you. Congratulate you and the whole ISSE team in Italy for this fantastic and heartwarming work that you are doing. It is very meaningful to also know that this is recognized by the Ministry of Education and, you know, just the title of this beautiful course, A Path for Life. I mean, it connects so beautifully to what Elena was also talking to us about, this path of self-transformation. And it just brings so much joy to know that, you know, this is shared with our local society. So what you are doing with the ISSE team in Italy, really bravo. And we're so, it brings so much gratitude to our hearts to hear experiences like this. So thank you so much for everything you shared.
Thank you.
And yes, so beautiful. And now, dear participants, we have a few minutes. If anyone would like to ask any question, I see we already have one of them in the chat, but just an invitation that if you would like to ask any question either to Elena or to Fabiana, we will do our best to answer them now, but if not, we will always use our email account otherwise. But I would like to invite you, dear Elena, to answer one of the questions that is already in our chat box. And one of our participants says that it would be nice to know about the cooperative games that you mentioned, Elena, remember? So where they took place, and she would also like to know if it's possible to do these kind of the course on the cooperative games maybe through the internet. So maybe you could tell us a little bit more about this cooperative games workshop that you did in the course.
Oh, well, thank you. Now, of course, the cooperative games, the ideal thing is to have a presential, not virtually, but we have in the past, we had the opportunity to be training of other teachers from Mexico, and we had the challenge of doing this practice virtually, and it was possible at the end, because when you have the motivation, everything is possible. But of course not with children. Sometimes with children, is the good thing is to be with them, because then you can feel really the energy together and the cohesion and everything that happens. It's building an environment of love and a culture of love, and this is not possible to change virtually. But for the training of adults, we did that, and it was incredible. We had this like this. Now we are doing the same. We are doing this course online, and we are all getting heart-to-heart communication, which is the basic of all these things. So this is we had an opportunity to do with children too. I remember, yes, it was children also from Colombia, and they participated well too. But it's not so easy for us. But everything is possible when love is there. Thank you.
Thank you, Elena. All I can say is I remember when I have participated in some of your cooperative games with all those different tools and beautiful elements that you bring, how it really truly connects us all together, and with this joy bringing out and eliciting the values within. So they really are a lot of fun, but very, very heartwarming too, and bringing out. Did you want to add something,
Yes,
Elena?
yes, I want to add that they are very simple activities, very, very simple, and reach everyone. So this is also a very good thing of these dynamics. This ¿cómo se dice ya? This popular teaching. It's popular for everyone. It touches everyone. Doesn't matter the age.
Thank you for that, Elena. I would just pause for a few seconds to see if we have any other question or contribution. But I feel that just like me, everyone is just very touched and inspired by everything you both shared. So thank you once again. Well, I feel it might be, if you have any questions, sometimes they don't turn up in this very moment. So even if it does come to you later, you can, of course, ask us through our ISSE email account, and we will be very happy to forward them to Elena or Fabiana to answer in case anyone does come up with a question after the session too. So having said all of that, and with this feeling of gratitude in our hearts, we will now take a short break of 5 minutes. And we will hear some inspiring and very joyful festive music again, and we will come back together again after this short 5-minute break to share some interactive time together through our breakout rooms and workshop, and also to somehow bring this beautiful session to an end. This special session today also, which is the one right before our Christmas break. So we look forward to seeing you all again in just around 5 minutes. Thank you all. And since I see Elena with her hand up and we've gone across all the different rooms, maybe it's a good moment, Elena, for you to add anything that you would like to say as one of our presenters today. and I was going to invite you anyways to give some of your final remarks. So please go ahead, Elena. You can first add whatever you wanted to, and maybe just share some final remarks with us too. Thank you.
Yeah, well, I am very optimistic because I see that the progress of the laws are asking for this now, and that we have the development and the understanding of the program, which is easy to convey and to share with others. Well, nothing else. Maybe Fabiana would like to say something.
See, yes, Elena, thank you. I would like to remark the importance to live and to practice human values and to train ourselves to listen our heart and to facilitate children to listen their heart, because the process is continuous, and I think it is important to balance the aspect to be and to act, to be and to act, because in this way we do experience and we can grow. And then I would like to express my wish that each of us can be an example of human values, spread love, promote peace, good human relations, cooperations, a sense of unity in our own sphere of life, in the family, at school, at work. Together we can create a resonance of good, generate good for the world, and then bring light and happiness to all.
Thank you, Fabiana, for those lovely words too, Elena too. And we really enjoyed both your presentations, which actually just reflect your personal yearning and commitment to education and human values, to live that in your own lives and then to share it with the children and the respective societies. So really, thank you very much on behalf of all of us for your beautiful presentations once again. And now that we're coming towards an end of today's session, I would just like to read one of the comments that's in the chat too, related to what we were talking about. And Maria shared that in the Italian ISSE course, the civic education introduced among the curricular subjects is used to involve the participating teachers and educators. The program of the course proposes the awareness of the inner heritage of human values, starting from correct and coherent behavior with the intention of arriving at the discovery of the heart. So thank you for that very nice comment too. We have another comment from Anna. She says, 2 more things that just popped into my mind: to give special importance to the present moment, not to worry about the results, just to give the best of us now. And the next is the implementation of laughter yoga. It helps not to take things so seriously. Maybe in secondary schools, as in the young children, the laughter is natural, although maybe in not all of them. Thank you so much for a very inspiring session. Thank you to Anna. And dear George, would you like to maybe just share some thoughts? And you're nice. We would like to hear your voice, and maybe you have something special to say to all of us on behalf of the whole team too. Your microphone, dear George.
I would like to greet you all indeed, and express my joy and happiness every time that we all meet to work together on this noble work of promoting the human values, which should be present not only in education, of course. I think everything has been said so wisely by all of you, so I don't have much to add. But of course, we have to emphasize that education is just a part in our life, and cannot do much if the human values are not present everywhere. First of all, in the family, in the workplace, in the social activities. The school is just a small cell in the whole body of society. So we have to keep this in mind. So all of us actually are educators with our example, as it has been stressed many times today. We are very thankful for these beautiful presentations to Elena and Fabiana. Elena said that there are 2 rules. And I remember Dr. Junsai, who is the founder of the Institute of Satyasai Education of Thailand, along with the Satyasai School of Thailand, which I had the chance to visit once and to meet him personally and to exchange our thoughts on Satyasai education and love and passion about Satyasai education, human values. He had a very beautiful slide, I remember also from his presentation. There are 2 rules in Satyasai education. The first is be the example. And then opening the second one is go back to rule 1. Very cleverly presented. So the most important thing is to be the example. To be the example as members of the society, not only as teachers, because not all of us are teachers, as members of the family, in our work. So this is the best way that we can bring and we can make this light of human values multiply in our lives. And as very nicely, very wisely said in the presentation of Fabiana by Satyasai, let's not worry about the future. Let's be at the present moment. This was also stressed by Anna just before a while, to be present in the now and to all the time to be connected to the heart. This is also stressed by Fabiana. The wisdom of the heart is the most important. This heart, this H, is the most important of the 3 H's. We have this 3 HV, we say, EHV is 3 HV. And for this, actually, we'll have the first presentation immediately after the break that we have now in Christmas. So I would like, on behalf of all our team is so nice, and we are so happy every time we meet to prepare all these sessions. So we all share the joy more than you as participants, because we have the opportunity to discuss more, to work on these high ideals. So the first, now we'll have the Christmas break, and for this I would like to extend my loving wishes to all of you, and to use these days in order, let us wish everybody and for us to use these days in order to make this light within to shine more. Because actually that's why do we honor Christmas? Because Jesus was born. And why do we honor Jesus? Because Jesus gave the same lesson. This is a universal lesson. We had the opportunity to see the 5 human values in all religion, in Christianity, in the local culture. Human values are universal. And because Jesus gave the same message of love, of unity, Laura said about quantum physics, of course, we can approach this unity. But all the great teachers, and now physics joined to that, yes, this is very good, speak about the fundamental principle of unity. We will have also this important topic when we meet after Christmas. Unity in diversity is one of the fundamental teachings of Satya Sai Baba. So let us honor Jesus' birth, these joyful days, by living his message, by contemplating on his message. He has said, he has spoken about the importance of purity of the heart, this seat of human values. It is absolutely the same. He has said, blessed are the pure in heart, for they shall see God. They shall see truth. They shall see the light, the pure in heart. And the heart is purified with the human values. So with these wishes to everyone, I would like to thank again our presenters today, and our dear Raksha, who all the time is so sweet, and all the team, and on behalf of all the team, all the best, Merry Christmas, and we will meet again to continue our wonderful path, the Camino de Educar, as Elena would say, from 14th, again, we'll meet 14th of January. So all the best.
Thank you, dear George, for your inspiring and heartfelt words too. And we will see each other again with great joy, like George said, on the 14th of January. So we wish you and your families a very blessed and Merry Christmas and a good start to this new year, to this very present moment. As we say, every moment is new. Every second is a new opportunity to practice and to really bring out who we truly are. And we would like to end with a very sweet song that we came across. It's a Christmas song, and you will enjoy it for sure. It has beautiful images. The voices are very touching too. And you can focus on the lyrics especially, because it somehow reminds us where to find, you know, these human values, this seat of wisdom in our heart, God, all these different terms we refer, and just talking about the same thing. So enjoy this beautiful song, and we look forward to seeing you all again on the 14th of January. Thank you.
Bye-bye. All the best.